got the real deal now. Gonna kick this sorry ass out on the street. What you got? You used to think you owned the street. We'll pack your bags and your ass is dead.
How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? And welcome to week number 20 of the Lowdown Show on No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. We are your Canadian-based WWE podcast that discusses and reviews Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night Smackdown from the past week, as well as our Twitter poll segment called the Luke Gallows Polls, and our WWE Headlines segment where we talk about any important news in the WWE. Every week, the Lowdown Show is broadcasted live on Spreaker at Spreaker.com/NHBWP, and after it is done, it is posted on YouTube, SoundCloud, Spreaker itself, and iTunes in full. If you would like to join in on the conversation, have your thoughts, questions, opinions read on the podcast, tweet us at noholdsbarredwp, or by leaving a comment in the YouTube comment section below. I am your host as always, guys, the greatest host, Kyle Masters, and I'm always continue to be joined by my co-host, the boss, Sir Corporate himself, Mr. Glorious, Corporate Cappy.
Yeah, with a new corporate mic today, you know.
Oh, you got it. Yeah, we had some issues with the last mic.
Yeah, I broke the last one after Sasha lost the match. I smashed the other one in half.
Snapped it in half, literally, guys. I saw it happen with my own eyes. Blood everywhere. More blood than Randy Orton's head at SummerSlam.
Oh, that's a lot of blood.
Anyways, guys, welcome to the Lowdown Show. So this week, Raw and SmackDown, interesting. Interestingly enough, SmackDown, I'm going to say right off the bat, was better than Raw this week.
Better.
100% better this week. I could not believe it. My dream came true this week.
It was better than perfect.
That one, wow. It was glorious this week.
Yeah.
Interestingly enough, though, wow. Like Raw, for all that happened on Raw, you think SmackDown would be like, okay, SmackDown might be mediocre this week, or might have been mediocre, but it actually went over the top craziness. So we'll get into that when we talk about SmackDown. But this week, guys, we're going to start off with your tweets. And boy, do we have a lot of tweets again this week from our fans out there. We appreciate the love and support of your continuous tweets. But okay, we'll get into it. The first tweet this week comes from Jordan Spear at Jordan Spear 2 on Twitter. He says, Raw was decent this week. They should rename the belt to the Eva Marie World Championship. But Raw was decent, honestly.
I don't want to name anything after Eva Marie. All red everything. Get off my television.
I mean, it kind of makes sense. It literally is an all red belt.
It should be the Kane belt.
The Corporate Kane Championship. Only he can present the title for each winner. Oh my god, that's great. Next week comes from Irrelevance on Twitter at Forlorn with a big giant underscore. He says, the Downs and Titus on the mic must have been smoking what RVD and Roman have. Roman super fucking Roman and no Slater. He also goes on saying, seeing Seth freaking Rollins, seeing Jericho give the code breaker, I fell out of my chair when Roman kicked out Super Reigns.
Super Reigns.
He also says, overall, a great show for SmackDown. Seeing Slater made me smile, and seeing Tyler Breeze take a grand amplitude made me cry. 8 out of 10. He also has a thought. I just thought about the next final teams are going to be American Alpha, Rock's cousins, Slater and Rhino, and a mystery team. In the end, it will be 3 teams fighting for this title. It's going to be a fatal tag 4-way for the new titles. I pray not. So thanks for your thoughts, Irrelevance. Thank you. Awesome as always. I love how you referred to the Usos as just the Rock's cousins.
But are they actually his cousins? That's stupid.
Let's be honest. I don't think they're actually his cousins. They're just, they had the same tattoo. That means they're cousins.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Next tweet comes from Gama at GamaNU1 on Twitter. He puts, and I conclude my thoughts on Raw with the LED ring posts. This is way too much. He also puts, liked the majority of it except for Roman, Titus, the way the Dudleys are retiring if they don't turn it into a storyline. He also puts AJ Styles and Dolph Ziggler help push it over Raw this week for me, for SmackDown. Interesting. I like your tweets there, Gama. Thank you for your thoughts. I think I read it backwards for him, so I apologize for that. Next, we have Casey Salvis at Salvis94, our newly acquired goon to our goons group here. Ooh. He says, SmackDown way better than Raw. Simply put, simply enough, awesome. Then our last couple of tweets come from our number one fan, and that is Michael Chow on Twitter at Real Michael Chow. He says, Raw was nothing special. Bayley's debut definitely saved it. And credit where credit is due, Dana Brooke was greatly improved.
Greatly improved in what aspect? How?
Michael Chow, you're going to have to tweet at Cobra Cappy about that.
Yeah, man. Like, I usually like what you say. That one's a head scratcher to me, though. With stiff Dana Brooke, I don't really know how she can improve.
Dana is the number one diva on Raw.
Besides improving her nose-plugging voice, I don't know what she improved.
Anyway, he also puts, the Titus and Darren feud has run its course. Stop it. Titus could be the next Batista. Just, dear Lord, keep him off the mic.
That might have been one of the worst promos I've ever seen.
We'll get into talking about that later. He also put thoughts on the rumored Lesnar vs. Shane match at the Royal Rumble. What is Shane going to do? Seriously. I mean, yeah, he has a point. Like, we've already seen him jump off a cage twice and jump off literally everything in the arena. Like, is this match going to forward to the outside and he's going to jump off the arena itself?
Lesnar's just going to kick the shit out of him.
It's literally going to be exactly like a typical Lesnar match. It's going to be exactly a typical Lesnar match. You can get suplex around the entire arena. There's going to be some blood maybe, or maybe Lesnar will bleed this time. Maybe an announce table crushes or two, and then...
They call it Bloodbath City.
Maybe Shane wins, maybe.
If The Undertaker...
Yeah.
If he didn't beat The Undertaker, he's not beating Brock Lesnar.
All right. Chow also puts about SmackDown Live beats Raw just based on them introducing the new titles and just putting the word SmackDown in front of them. Genius. I actually agree with him, though.
We don't need the Milky Way titles.
Yeah. He also puts, please trade Owens and Jericho to SmackDown Live. They could do SmackDown Live's version of The New Day. Funny heels for you to cheer for. The Big It.
The Big It. The It Factor. That would be their team name.
That could be like their finishing move, the It Factor. He also put hashtag Slater equals ratings. AJ turning him down on his way out was gold, but I think that Baron Corbin would have been a better partner.
I don't think Baron Corbin wants to anything to do with Heath Slater.
I hope not. I'm glad it didn't happen. But we'll get into Raw this week first. So Raw.
Are we going to do our Luke Gallows?
Oh yeah, we'll get the Luke Gallows polls out of the way and we'll get into our review. So guys, time for the Luke Gallows polls. Hit that poll music. All right, welcome to the Luke Gallows polls, guys. Our Twitter poll segment where we read some great polls off our buddies at FunWWE Polls on Twitter. Go follow them out. Go follow them, guys, at FunWWE Polls. They do some great polls, some funny polls, some serious polls. All polls for your liking. So go check them out at FunWWE Polls. So our host for Luke Gallows polls for the last couple weeks, and it looks like we're going to continue it, is Cobra Cappy over here. So Cobra Cappy, lead us into the polls.
All right. So first we've got, since we didn't really get into the Jericho-Lesnar confrontation yet, did Chris Jericho do the right thing confronting Brock Lesnar over the Randy Orton finish? Yes, one with 86%.
I think yes. Someone needs to step up to Lesnar. I mean, yeah, it was taken out of context about what happened in the whole story with
Lesnar
that.
Didn't hear what Jericho was saying.
Yeah, he was basically talking to Michael Hayes. Everything was towards Michael Hayes, and Lesnar just, being the cocky asshole that he is, think it was against him. So I agree that he should step up to Lesnar. It almost seems like backstage, he's like the one guy up back there that no one talks to, and everyone's like afraid of him. And I think that's actually from what this story's like. It's actually it.
Because he's an intimidating person to go up and talk to, because he just has that persona about him. He just he goes. He doesn't like talking to people. He's just that kind of guy.
Yeah. So yeah, I agree with the yes. I think it's a good thing that Jericho stood up to him, and yeah, it got a little bit confrontational, and this is definitely not a work. Mm-hmm. So I think it was a good idea for Jericho to step up. Say what he had to say. Get in his face. Lesnar can't be the guy to run the place, right?
No.
So good for Jericho. I agree with that poll.
Okay, next one we've got. What's your opinion of Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn match on Raw? Great, good, okay, or terrible, and good, one with 45%.
Good. It was fucking awesome. That was unreal. I can't believe they opened Raw that way with like guy like Rollins, a guy like Zayn. Zayn, who we criticized WWE for not having on the main card at SummerSlam, finally got a shot, but then we'll talk about what happened to him later. So yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, I mean, he even did a spot in the match where like he sold an injury.
Yeah, that was
a huge
crazy.
troll.
I had to go back and look at it a couple of times, so it was sold pretty good.
Yeah. Next, we've got what's your opinion of the Titus O'Neil and Darren Young Bob Backlund segment? Great, good, okay, or terrible?
I hope terrible won.
Terrible did win, 67%.
I don't know if like Titus lost his script somewhere, if his script was stuck in traffic somewhere, but that was the worst mic performance I've ever seen. He botched like almost every second word.
Especially like the first like 30 seconds of the promo. He's like,
Yeah, it literally sounded like he was drunk. He's like, him and Ric Flair have been partying up before his segment, and Ric Flair's too drunk to come out. Oh, man.
Some of these, like, I don't want to spoil a lot of stuff, so I'm kind of skipping over a couple here.
That's all right.
Is Bret Hart right in criticizing Seth Rollins for being reckless in the ring?
Which we'll get into later, yes.
Yes, won with 55%.
And yes, it's an interesting story, guys. Tune in later in the show. It's an interesting topic we got to talk about.
Yep. Were you disappointed that Bubba Ray didn't turn on Devon so you could do a Bully Ray character?
Yes.
Yes, won with 57%.
I think yes, that would have been perfect. I do not like what they did. We'll get into later with the Dudley Boys and pertaining to their goodbye. This definitely doesn't look like their goodbye now. I hope, and it's in the back of my head, I hope they don't continue like every week is their goodbye and they never get a good chance to say goodbye and they just keep getting attacked. So they never get a chance to say goodbye and they continue that. I would be so pissed and just they become that more of a heel tag team. They get more heat just for saying goodbye every week.
It's like when Jericho came out and remember he wouldn't say anything.
Yeah, I just didn't say a word and then left. That was great.
What was your overall opinion of Raw this week? Good, great, good, okay, or terrible? Good one with 44%.
Really? I would have said, again, I wish there was like a meh answer because Raw this week was meh. That's it.
Yep.
And it's basically due to all the injuries.
Exactly. Now we're getting into some SmackDown ones here.
Ooh, here we go. Blue brand.
What's your opinion of the Nikki Bella and Carmella double turn? And great double turn.
Yeah, great. I double grade it.
Great one with 35, and then good was 34. So they were both right there.
I love it.
I think it's really good.
I think
win
the title. Carmella's winning that title, baby. I know she is.
That, but it makes sense to make Nikki Bella a face.
Yeah.
Like she's just really over with the the total divas crap.
It's great.
Are you intrigued by a Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt feud? Yes, one with 78%.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Depends on how the build is, because remember when we said that the Lesnar Orton match was going to be a snooze fest?
Yeah.
And then they actually had like 3 good weeks of build up.
That's what I feel about that match right now. I have some doubts and I have some expectations, but it needs a good build up for sure if that actually is going to happen. Oh God, I really hope if they're going to go that way, please make it better than make it as good as the Orton. And I know it's tough to do because Bray Wyatt's not the same kind of guy as Brock Lesnar, but he still has kind of like that persona. Like no one like really defeats Bray Wyatt. He kills everybody.
Well, Bray Wyatt can cut a really good promo. So
yeah. Oh my God, he's the best. He's one of the greatest.
Yeah, we'll see if Orton can hold up with him. I mean, he actually did get some mic skills somehow. Last couple times he cut a promo. This is a funny one. How far do you think the team of Heath Slater and Rhino will make it in the tag team title tournament? First round, semifinals, or finals?
First round.
60% the finals.
Are you? Come on, guys. That's just all hype right there. There's no way, guys, they make it to the finals. They're going to lose the first round, and it's going to be like Rhino accidentally spearing Slater. That's exactly what's going to happen.
I don't
You
know.
heard it here first.
See, I could see like them keeping the storyline going and like having them like lose in the finals or something.
Oh,
like
my
going all the
God.
way to get that hype. Like
But
Heath
he's
Slater's going to get the contract.
He's so over New York, and I don't know if the hype is going to stay behind Slater, especially going into towns like Memphis and stuff. It's going to be so hard to keep this going.
I mean, it is pretty funny, but like that's like how do you keep it going without it getting stale? Like when he finally gets the contract, it probably won't. It'll probably just die after that. So I think like they're going to keep this going for a long time, and I think he might make it to the finals and they might lose or something.
My God.
Or I could see them going to the finals and then like winning, but then like the referee stops the match because of like a rope break or something.
I don't think.
And then
if they do it, I want to see American Alpha win. I don't want that to happen to American Alpha, and I don't want American Alpha to win the titles like that. I want them to win it clean, like a comeback win, like in the match, like a late push and then they actually win the title is unreal, and I don't want them to win a match like that. Maybe let that happen in like the semifinals. Then I'll be happy.
Maybe. Okay. And we'll just do a few more here. What do we got? What was your opinion of Smackdown tonight? Great, good, okay, or terrible? Great, 68%.
Yeah,
terrible had 0%.
Yes, that's good. If anyone said terrible, I probably would have tweeted your ass and asked you, what the hell is wrong with you? You must watch Broken Matt Hardy and Broken Jeff Hardy over on Impact Wrestling, the greatest show on earth. It's great, man.
Yep, we got two more polls left here. Which program had the better show this week? We already said SmackDown Live, and
it won with a lot.
The Twitterverse agreed with us. 85% SmackDown Live.
Attaboy, Twitterverse. You guys are gems.
And this last it was retweeted by Fun WWE polls by a different Twitter page.
This is interesting.
Between NXT TakeOver, SummerSlam, Raw, and SmackDown Live, we had about 13 hours of WWE programming. Was that too much for you?
No.
Yes, one with 53%.
Really? I don't know how I feel about that. I think we maybe had too many hours, but less action in those 13 hours.
I think it was a great bookend. I think NXT TakeOver was great, and I think SmackDown was great. Between SummerSlam and Raw, there was a lot of filler crap.
Yeah.
But I think it started off good and ended off good.
Yeah, I agree. So, speaking of Raw, we'll get into the Raw review now. Yep. Really, really disappointing Raw, and disappointing in terms of product and recent news. So we are getting news reports all night Sunday and into Monday before Raw about Finn Balor injuring himself at SummerSlam. If you guys don't know, there's a spot where Seth Rollins power bombs Balor outside the ring into the barricade. If it's really, really gross, and I advise discretion if you go see it. It shows Balor going into the barricade, his shoulder popping out, and him popping it back in.
And he finished the match.
You don't know how much more respect I gained for Balor after knowing that.
If you don't respect Finn Balor after that, I don't know.
That's incredible. Like he popped it himself back in and continued the match.
And won the match.
Unreal. So we got news all that, and then we got an hour before Raw, we get the news that he will be resigning the Universal Championship. So he's the first ever Universal Champion, and he's got to resign it literally the next night.
It's a curse. This new championship's a curse.
He is now the quickest Universal Champion in history as well. Oh my God!
Poor guy, man.
So that's how we started off Raw with Mick and Steph in the ring. Finn Balor coming out like huge, like you deserve it chance, and people saying no, obviously he has to resign the belt, but he has to. He's going to be out 6 to 8 months. He just recently had successful surgery, and they're still unsure if he might need longer time or not. They're still up in the air. I keep hearing that they're both sides. I hear that he could be back in less than 6 months, or he could be longer than that, but if WWE is going to play it safe, I say they keep him away until after the Royal Rumble and bring him back for maybe a feud for WrestleMania. Who knows what they can do by then, who's going to be the champion by then, but I say play the safe route with him because he's such a draw. Keep him out. Do not let him come back early unless he's got this like John Cena super strength, or, hint, if John Cena is taking some stuff for the wellness policy.
Well, he's part-time now.
Yeah. So, there you go. How about we give some drugs over to Finn Balor? Help him get back. Give him some drugs. Why not? Anyway, so that's how we start off Raw with Balor resigning the title. So Mick Foley's holding the title, and basically Rollins comes out as Finn's leaving, laughing.
Oh my God, the face of Seth, like the expression on Seth Rollins' face as he's walking out and sees Balor walking back. He's just like, ha ha, the classic Seth Rollins laugh.
And it comes out,
big smile on his face. He's like, why are we being all doom and gloom? This is a celebration.
This is Seth Rollins becoming the next Universal Champion.
Phenomenal.
That's not what we get.
Nope.
We get followed by Sami Zayn coming out, and the crowd lit up.
Yeah,
and I'm like, thank you. We're actually going to get something. And I thought in my head, I'm like, okay, I can deal with Rollins versus Zayn for the Universal Championship. Nope.
We had about 4 other people come out after that.
We get the list of Enzo and Cass, Owens, Jericho, and Roman Reigns.
Yeah, the guy.
Oh, okay, I love it. Okay, let's just drop this one-off feud he just had with Rusev for the United States title. What the fuck is that?
And Rusev got put in one of the matches. He wasn't even out there.
In his match, he didn't even finish. He walked out. So what the fuck was that?
If the Universal title meant that much, don't you think Rusev would not walk out on it if it meant more to him than his U.S. title?
I thought it was bullshit. Like, honestly, Roman Reigns, are you kidding me? They're still shoving this, after being suspended 30 days, they're still shoving this dude down our throats.
I was listening to something interesting last night. He's basically a heel. Like, the way that they're giving him to us, like, they're basically making him into the next
He's like
big
that
heel.
Eva Marie character. It's the WWE pushing someone that we don't want.
Even though he's the old baby face, he's basically the best heel now.
So, like, they're all in the ring and arguing, and we get announced. I scratched my head really hard at this. And I'm like, a championship series? You really just couldn't call it a tournament or a King of the Ring style tournament. They call it a championship series. So we couldn't have a battle royal for the world title because that wouldn't have made sense at all. We don't even get the champion announced that on Raw.
No, yeah, Brooklyn was pissed. They thought they were going to get a new champion. They didn't.
Nope, we got to wait till next week.
See if Houston has a good crowd. I don't know.
So we have a series of matches that on Raw this week, which will culminate into the Fatal 4-Way next week for the Universal title. So wherever they are next week is for the Universal Championship. I meant to look that up, but I don't know. So the first match is right off the bat, Seth Rollins versus Sami Zayn. I'm like, okay. So I'm glad we got that little letdown with the championship series and no champion, but we get to start off with a really good match, and it's Rollins versus Zayn. But they do something halfway through the match where I'm like, okay. So I was so scared because they do this work where Sami Zayn did something to his ankle, and I'm like, oh, great. Well, there's another injury on the shelf, and of course it's someone good like Sami Zayn.
Yep.
I'm searching through Twitter like mad crazy, looking to see if it's legit. Find out it's a work, and I'm like, okay. So someone posted a video in a replay slow motion. He does land on his feet properly, and he literally like a second later he does the whole side ankle thing to make it look like he landed like that.
I heard that Sami Zayn's a big troll when it comes to injuries.
So thank Christ. Yeah. So it's a fake injury, guys. Everyone can calm down.
We're a little bit gun shy right now over all the injuries going on.
So it was interesting. They made it seem like that the whole match, and it was one of the letdowns for Sami Zayn for the match. Couldn't really finish the match properly, and then gets pinned by Seth Rollins with the pedigree, and Seth Rollins is the first person to move on in the Universal Championship series. So, and that was actually a really good match. Even though Sami Zayn had the little playoff injury, it was actually a pretty decent match. I really liked it. Especially when you got two guys like Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins in a ring. Both are unreal wrestlers. And thank Christ Rollins didn't hurt someone else, or else that guy's just like bad luck written all over him. Which we'll get into later with the Bret Hart situation as well. So we move on Raw to Owens and Neville having a match for the championship series. So Neville, who wasn't even in the opening segment.
Yeah. Like, where'd he come from?
Gets a championship series title shot. And I'm thinking like Owens came out first. I'm like, okay, so he's probably going to face Jericho or Cass or something. No, Neville? I'm like, where the hell did he come from?
Why does he get a Universal title match?
He's a cruiserweight. But thank God he didn't win this match. Owens ended up winning, but it was actually a pretty decent match. I mean, with a big guy like Owens and still to be agile to face someone like Neville, they could still have a good match.
And Owens didn't even use his finisher.
No. That's why I'm like, what?
The torture rack into
I don't even know what that was, but it looked cool. It actually looked pretty cool. Like, Owens is incredible. I love this guy. That's why he's one of my favorites.
Into like a neck breaker or something.
Yeah, he's got a whole entire moveset we haven't even seen yet. Like, I remember watching Ring of Honor and stuff like that, and just seeing his moveset there. There's stuff that WWE probably doesn't even allow him to do that he can do. So Owens is so incredible, and I love that now we're getting like some glimpse of some new moves from him.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to see wrestlers use their same finisher every time. Like, if they break out a finisher, or another finisher once in a while, I like that.
Yeah, and no roll-ups all the time. Yeah, like stuff like that. So great for Owens. He wins, moves on. So Rollins and Owens already into the Fatal 4-Way. I'm like, oh my god, this Fatal 4-Way is already going to be incredible.
Yeah, Jericho also helped Owens in this match. He came out and distracted Neville.
Yeah, I guess you can say that. I wasn't really going to mention it, but I guess I can be biased. And
we have to.
Yeah, so Jericho did help a little
idiots
bit.
Out there.
He helped it.
Then
we get on. We get to the New Day Pinata segment, which is freaking hilarious. They had a pinata full of bootios, which when the New Day is coming out, if you watch Big E, he's ladling bootios to people
from like a bowl.
Oh my god, I was dying.
I wonder if it had milk in it.
Oh. That's some wet Cheerios
Because
right there.
you have to add milk to feel the power. If you just
Yeah.
eat them regular,
You get
don't
more
feel the power.
positivity with the milk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bootios.
They
make sure you ain't booty. Which they did. They did that plug on Raw. I'm like, oh, they haven't done that in a while. And the whole crowd did it with them, too. It was hilarious. It's like the crowd was finishing it before they could even say anything.
Oh, yeah.
But they had like a unicorn pinata running a typical promo like New Day always does. Like they can
all
come
feed
out.
off each other. It's great.
I love like every week they have something different to talk about. And they always just like, they're always over the top funny every week. They don't
Yeah.
get sour or I guess pun intended. They don't get dry either.
But I feel with Big E there, it just makes the whole dynamic better. Like
Yeah.
when it's Woods and Kofi, it's okay. But like you need all three of them together.
Exactly.
Like if it was just Woods or Kofi, or if you're missing one of them,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of doesn't have that same feel.
Exactly. So I was intrigued to see if they're going to do like a new feud. Nope. The club comes out and they're doing again. They have the. Oh my God! They're continuing the club in the New Day. I don't know how I feel about this. I thought for sure we're going to get something different, but
Nope.
they're continuing. This led into a Big E and Carl Anderson match where Big E won. And it looks like they're probably heading into the direction of facing them again for the tag titles at Clash of Champions.
I think the
end of
club's gonna.
September.
I think the club's gonna win the titles from them.
By then it makes sense because now they're really by then they're going to be like 400 and something days into their title reign, and that's a lot.
And
so
if they want to make the club into like that dominant, like destructive heel team, they need to have the title.
now again, that's what I want to say now. Now that the Big E's back and they're not doing injury angle, does the club go and find a third member now? And they can't pick
have
Balor
Balor anymore.
he gone. You can't have Styles. Let's say trade him to Raw, but that won't happen because he's basically their draw on SmackDown. Can't have Styles, and he's now in the main event. Which
Here's
we're
the
talking
thought:
about.
do they recruit your boy Braun Strowman?
Oh my God! I hope not. You know
To be
what?
like
I
their
have two
muscle?
thoughts for that. One, I hope not. Two, it would get him away from the squash matches. So maybe.
And 3, Raw, like his song says. I don't even know what.
I'm trying to think. There's no one on the roster right now that could be
a leader type person, you know?
I can't think of any. Unless say Luke Harper somehow came back, but I can't even see Luke Harper being that guy. They need some guy they can relate to and be funny with. 'Cause the club's also hilarious. This whole doctor thing they've been doing the last month was hilarious. They need someone that they can do stuff like that with.
Maybe they need to call up someone from like NXT.
Samoa Joe.
Bobby Roode.
Who? Someone. The club, I think, yeah. So I think the club maybe should get a third member. We'll see if they do or not. But it seems weird now if 3-on-2. It felt all right when Big E was gone for the injury.
But it doesn't make sense for a face team to outnumber the heel team, you
Yeah.
know?
So I think maybe they're going to get a third member. It's going to be interesting to see who, if they do.
Or maybe they injure someone else. Maybe they injure Kofi or Woods. I don't know.
But yeah, like you said, I think they're going to lose the titles. And as much as I don't want to say it, I think the New Day's title reign is going to be up. They don't need titles anymore. Their guys are so funny on their own. They're great on their own. So I think it's time for a title change. So we'll see. Maybe during the title change there'll be red belts. Maybe they'll change them to reds, and SmackDown has blue belts, which we'll get into later. But moving on, something we kind of talked about during the Luke Gallows polls, the Titus O'Neil, Darren Young segment. And Titus O'Neil, unbelievable. I retweeted a tweet from Creative Humor that said, "Oh, now I know why we don't let Titus talk."
No, I lost all faith in Titus after this promo.
He's got everything but Mike skills. Everything. He's the whole package. Even Michael Chow, I think he said he could be like the next Batista type top star. But literally, he's got no mic skills whatsoever. That was garbage. That literally looked like he read his script like a second before that and forgot everything.
He's bad as a heel. I don't understand why they keep trying to make him into a heel.
He was playing the heel. It was really bad.
They should have just kept the primetime players together.
Yeah,
they need more tag teams.
Yeah.
It would make sense to have them together.
And they had Bob Backlund come out, and he tried like to apply the
chicken
cross-arm chicken wing, and he just shoved him down. Like Bob Backlund was out.
Darren Young came out.
Gets Clash of the Titus on. So it looks like they're continuing his feud. I knew they were going to do something, and I called it before SummerSlam in our predictions in our previous lowdown shows. But yeah, this is going to continue. It looks like this is going to continue. Maybe the final match at Clash of Champions, but no pun intended. If anyone got that. Yeah, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young looks like it's going to continue, which I don't know why.
Where did
There was no interest in this. Like the crowd was dead. They did not care about this.
Because we're tired of seeing this. I want to see a different feud.
Yeah, these guys need. I hope maybe this week was the last time we saw this, or next week, because I don't want to see this anymore. They could do so much more, but I think maybe that was just like a rushed segment, because maybe it was, because Titus didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
Titus O'Neil with one of the worst promos of the year.
Yeah, that probably will win worst promo of the year if we added a side award to our Slammies. Worst promo of the year, Titus O'Neil. I think you just won it, and we're not even there yet. But moving on to another championship series match, we have Rusev against Big Cass.
Okay, I want to say something about this. I love Big Cass and Enzo, but why are they giving Big Cass a singles push like this already? And they don't have Cesaro in this tournament. Why the fuck is Cesaro not in this tournament? And he even had a backstage interview about he went off again on another shoot saying why is he not included in this tournament? He has to do a fucking 7-match series against Sheamus to even be given an opportunity at a title shot.
And they didn't even have a match on Raw to continue this series. I thought they were going to continue this.
Why does he have to face Sheamus 7 times when he could just be put in this tournament and move on to the next round? He could have been in the
I honestly think when this series is done with Sheamus, we're going to see a trade where he's going to SmackDown. I think this could be kind of a work now. But yeah, exactly. Even if it is a work, we should get Sheamus. Cesaro makes more sense in this tournament than Big Cass. As much as we love Big Cass, like you said, and Enzo,
and he doesn't deserve it yet. Cesaro deserves to be in this Fatal 4-Way.
Yep. So thank God, Big Cass did win.
But it was stupid. The whole match was it made Rusev look weak again. He just walked out
after he just looked weak that SummerSlam, and he looked even weaker, and he just walked out. He's the United States. What's up with them making the mid-card champions weaker?
It makes no sense.
Well, they kind of upped it up on SmackDown with their mid-card, but seriously.
Why is Rusev just walking out of if the Universal title is supposed to be more prestigious, the most prestigious title on Raw, you'd think they would want to stay and wrestle instead of just walking out.
That was god-awful. Really god-awful and really poorly done. And I'm glad the next segment happened, because I was really starting to fall asleep at Raw by this point. And what we get made me one of the happiest people ever.
Wow.
Now, I thought I could cheer about I know that Paige is on the shelf for a bit, and I can cheer my girl Carmella on SmackDown. I'm like, who else am I going to cheer for Raw? Everything changed this week. #hug life. Unbelievable. So we get Charlotte coming out with
Great Dana Brooke.
Playtime is over.
Playtime is over with Dana Brooke.
Charlotte
running the typical promos saying, oh, there's no one to defeat anymore. I'm like, oh. And we got the crowd with the hugger section signs. I'm like, oh. Mick Foley comes out. Basically, respecting kind of what Charlotte has done, but that he has an opponent for it, and it's Raw's new free agent.
And I was like, Heath Slater's going to go for the women's title?
He said free agent. I'm like, oh my God, Heath Slater's going to go for the
He's going to dress up in a wig and
it's going to be like Heath Slater. But no, as soon as he says NXT, I'm like, oh, no. And then we get Bayley's music starting. I'm like, no way.
Finally, the long-awaited debut of Bayley.
Yeah, we were happy, and we were also sad at the same time, because we're going to NXT Live in September. We're like, oh shit, Bayley. Is she not going to be there? But I was so happy. I'm like, God damn, finally she's being called up. After her farewell match with Asuka on Saturday, she's finally making her Raw debut, and she's now on the main roster officially. Yes, we have something to cheer for now, and let the Bayley era start. The only thing is, when Paige comes back, I'm screwed. I am seriously screwed, because I love Paige is over the top for me. Bayley's literally 0.5 behind. So if they face each other, I'm going to be torn apart.
You know what? When they do finally get the division all back, you have Charlotte, Bayley, Sasha, and Paige.
Wow.
That's a really
big
good
four
division.
right there. And you got Dana Brooke.
And if you count Alicia Fox and Summer Rae, I don't know where the hell they've been.
Talk to me.
I guess she's on Superstars. I don't know. But
they can be the headline for Superstars. I'm fine with that.
We know the same match every week.
Yeah, why not?
But they're going to have a 7-match series, too. Yeah. Summer Rae versus Alicia Fox.
That's the series I want to see.
Yeah, leave it on Superstars.
I'd actually rather see that than Sheamus versus Cesaro 7 times. Not going to lie. Plainly, I think everyone can agree with me out there.
But Bayley coming to Raw, it's huge. I mean, she's been
long overdue.
The face of NXT for a year. So she's been ready for a long time.
the biggest reaction I've ever seen. Oh my
For a
god.
woman wrestler, yeah.
Like, literally, it was just as loud when she made her debut at Battleground. Like, God.
That was insane.
It's going to be interesting to see. So now she had a match with Dana, and obviously Bayley won her debut match. Great. Thank you. Fuck Dana Brooke. So now, this is what it's very interesting now, because Sasha Banks was said to be out till the 23rd of September. It just got released recently that her injury is less brutal than expected, and she's supposed to be back earlier now. So the 23rd was the Friday before Clash of Champions. Does Sasha come back and get instantly put into this feud, and they have a triple threat already off the bat?
Oh my god, they need to save that match. That match needs to be saved.
If not, Survivor Series, I'm hoping they get saved this for. But what do you do with Bayley? Maybe Bayley has another match with Dana at Clash of Champions, and Sasha gets her title rematch as she deserves.
Yeah, maybe if Bayley wins, she gets a title match.
It's interesting. Yeah, maybe she'll be. Yeah, maybe like Dana and Bayley have the number one contendership, while Sasha and Charlotte have their title match.
Yeah,
there you go. Writes itself. But it's going to be interesting to see, and I hope that's probably where it's going to lead to. And maybe, I don't know, Paige's suspension.
I was going to say, when is she supposed to be back?
Okay, so before the suspension, Paige was just dealing with injuries and rehabilitating, but there was no set timeline for her. So, maybe she, I don't know.
Is she going to be ready after the 30 days?
I don't know. It can be. This is what I mean. The division is starting to heat up on Raw. So in the next month, I think we're going to get a lot more something
clarity.
worth watching in the Raw Divas division.
And don't forget about Nia Jax, whatever she's
I forgot. She's squashing people. No, I don't care.
Maybe Bayley will face Nia Jax for number one.
We already seen that. I don't want to see it on the main roster now.
We're going to see it.
We're going to see Paige. I guarantee we're going to see Paige versus Nia Jax. It's going to be like punishment for the 30-day suspension, and she's going to get squashed by Nia Jax. I guarantee it.
Maybe they need to sign a new hot. When I said hottest free agent, I'm like Britt Baker.
Britt Baker, get baked.
But yeah, we've talked about this for a while. But yeah, Bayley getting
squash matches.
Oh,
the Braun Strowman squash
your
match
favorite
against a guy named Johnny Knockout.
Johnny got knocked out. Let's just say that. What about his promo in the ring with Byron Saxton before the match?
Oh God, I don't want to talk about.
He was like, "So why did you take this match with Braun Strowman?" And the guy says, and I quote, "I like being in the ring with hot, sweaty men." And that was what he said.
Are they crazy? Is WWE like freaking nuts?
Did they tell this guy to say that, or did he just go out there and say it?
I bet you he just went out there and said, "Now you got fired." I guarantee you, you're never going to work at this company again, Johnny Knockout.
Well, he was just a one-day contract, one match contract anyway.
I can't believe he said that. I was like, okay, thank God this guy's getting squashed. But the worst part of this whole thing was after he'd lost, Braun Strowman attacked him again and made the ref count again. And the best part of that whole thing was the ref even made sure the guy's shoulders were down, even though the match is already over. He's going for another pin. He made sure the shoulders were down. That referee needs a slammy right there. That's one of the best. Even after this pin didn't count. He still made sure the opponent getting pinned shoulders were down. I applaud you, referee. That was great. That was great.
So did he get 2 wins for that, or what?
He gets 1 win. Even the referee pointed the bell to ring again, but it never rang. So even the ref wanted the bell to ring twice. I love that ref. Get that ref a medal.
But yeah, your boy Braun Strowman, I don't know.
Yeah, my boy.
Yep.
Somewhat. I don't know.
When we were sitting there and you were on your phone, all you heard was "Raw" and his theme come on. You're just like,
yeah,
just like stood there.
My face was like, do I even want to watch this? I was debating. That's why I was looking at the TV. I'm like, do I really watch this for the sake of our podcast? Do I really watch this?
Do people actually get enjoyment out of Braun Strowman just squashing like 100?
I want to look next week. I seriously want to look next week and look at the crowd area and see if actually people get up out of their seats and leave for like a bathroom break or something.
Like, do they want to see this guy just squash a little guy, like 100 guys that are like?
We want to see the glorious
Braun
savior
Strowman
of wrestling that we're supposed to get, but we don't get.
We get his backwards chokeslam.
We get backwards chokeslams and 3 moves a week. Wow, this guy has it so rough.
Brock Lesnar does more moves than this guy. He wrestles like 2 times a year.
Can we see Brock Lesnar versus Braun Strowman, please? That'd be a great match.
Knowing WWE would end in a tie. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
We've
with
talked
that.
too much about Braun Strowman.
So we'll move on.
More than the match.
So we get to the Dudleys, and apparently it was announced earlier too that they had they were going to announce their retirement. I mean, good for the Dudleys. Fucking like 20-something years in the business.
10-time tag team WWE tag team champions.
Unreal. Like just the accomplishments these guys have done. Basically, one of the main people for ECW and why ECW is so popular. Good for these guys, man. Their list of accomplishments is just over the top.
The old expression, they paved the way for all the tag teams to come
basically.
through.
But then, like, we don't get the goodbye we think we're going to get.
Well, we thought we were going to get it because your boys, the favorite travel agents, the Shining Stars, came out.
And they have, like, a final match. And, God.
They do a 3D to one of them, and then they set up the table. They're finally getting the tables out again. They're going to do the other one to Primo. And then the club comes out and just starts attacking them.
Why the club coming out here? The feud with the New Day. Why the hell are they coming out here? So they just literally destroy the Dudleys.
What's
they
the
kill
finisher, or the Magic Killer?
Yeah,
they give Bubba Ray or Devon the Magic Killer in the table
through the table, and then the New Day comes out and starts beating on him, and basically forget about that was the Dudleys' retirement. So are they going to do this every goddamn week? Where every week they're going to come out and they're going to say, "Where's our goodbye this week?" And then they're going to get attacked again. I really hope we don't get that. I just don't understand what the hell. Like, is this really how the Dudleys are going to go out by getting attacked by the club?
They didn't even get to put a team through a table.
Get put through their own tables.
They didn't even get to put a team through a table. Like, come on.
Is they? And I've heard rumors that they're going back to TNA. Maybe Vince knew they're going back to TNA. I'm like, fine, you want to go back to TNA? This is how we're going to retire you out. You're going to get your ass kicked and put through a table. I honestly think that's what it is.
Are they passing the torch? I don't know what the point of it was, but
I hope that's what it is. Let's move on, though. I'm done talking about that. To the main event of Raw, Roman Reigns versus Chris Jericho.
Of course, they put Reigns in the main event again.
Of course. Like, we can get enough Roman Reigns. But he has a match with Chris Jericho. It ends up being a really good match. Besides the hate for Roman Reigns, it was really good.
The backstage promo beforehand, Jericho and Owens are back there, and Jericho was like, so you're going to help me in my match, right? And Owens is kind of like reluctant. He's like, yeah, sure. Yeah, I got your back.
You better watch it.
These two guys. And Owens eventually does come out and try to help Jericho out.
Yeah. But, nope. Roman Reigns wins.
There was one point in this match where I thought Jericho was going to win because Owens distracted Reigns.
Yeah.
And he turns around into a code breaker. I'm like, that's it.
I'm like, yep, finally, we're actually going to get Jericho to move on. And, our prayers are somewhat answered because Roman Reigns wins. Great.
Whose prayers were we answering there?
The one Roman Reigns fans in the world.
The guys?
Fan. The guys. Or there's more than one. The guys. Are you kidding me? So next week we're getting Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and Big Cass in the Fatal 4-Way match for the Universal Championship.
They have Reigns win. They have Reigns end off the week in Brooklyn with the win.
Wow.
Just to piss off the Brooklyn
And I bet
crowd.
you that's a jab from WWE about them booing the Universal Championship.
Oh, they would.
I guarantee he would have been in the main event if they didn't boo it. But I mean, I stand where they're coming from, though. Because the Universal Championship looks like crap. They could have done an old black belt and just kept the background red, and I would have been fine with that.
Yeah, well, we'll get into the SmackDown belts after, but I don't know. I just think Cesaro would have been a way better choice than Big Cass in this Fatal 4-Way next week.
Yeah.
It would have made the match a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, or even Sami Zayn for that matter.
Well, Zayn lost it.
And I want to tell you about some of the Universal Championship that I read this week, and I'm really a little bit upset about. Mick Foley took to Facebook. So he takes to Facebook and basically runs his mouth at the fans, criticizing the new belt and booing new belt, calling them dumb, and saying that it's not about the belt. We had the hardcore title. Look what that looked like shit, but it was prestigious enough for people to fight for. And talking about how people put their bodies in the lines for this title and yada yada yada. And I'm like, okay, Mick, couple of things here. The crowd is not, and he's also criticizing, saying that the fans weren't watching the Balor and Seth Rollins match. They didn't care about the match, saying they cared more about the belt. No, Mick. They cared about the match. Balor and Rollins was something they wanted to see for a long time and were anticipated about. They're booing the belt. And I guarantee you this is why they're booing the belt and then why I would boo. It's because the fans that were at SummerSlam put their hard-earned money.
And these tickets were not cheap.
Into SummerSlam. And even more stuff. The merchandise, the network, and just the years of putting money into this company. And this is what you give us back? You give us a shitty looking title. It looked like it was not even ironed. It was wrinkled as shit. It looked like Kane's mask.
Literally,
Okay?
it was like making it on WWE 2K16.
And Mick, you have the balls to come out and say that we don't care about the match.
We do care about the match.
You better watch yourself, Mick, and check yourself, man. Because that's not why we booed the title belt and why there's haters about this title belt. It's because the amount of money we put in this company and dedication is that we expect a little bit more better back than that piece of crap.
People pay. They can chant whatever they want. I mean, I understand
it's freedom
it
of
was a good match
speech, and that's the
going
one
on.
thing in the United States. Why all of a sudden, Mick, you have to go to Facebook and start criticizing people saying they weren't watching the match? That's bullshit, Mick. You better watch yourself, man.
But
because that's not why we're booing. And I lost a little bit of respect for you after I heard that and read that.
I read something that they shouldn't have debuted. That if they knew the title was going to be like that bad of a reaction, they shouldn't have debuted the title until after the match was over or something.
Yeah.
Like maybe like wait until the match was done to reveal the title.
Yeah.
If they
people were
wanted
pissed
it to be
off, I
focused.
understand why they're pissed off.
If
Like,
they
they
were-
expect more to that. If we put the dedication, we put the time to watch wrestling, watch Raw, SmackDown, pay-per-views every week, put the money to the network, merchandise, even those tickets. We expect a little bit better than that. That looks like a 4-year-old went on 2K16 and made that belt.
But the thing is, like, if you want it to be about the match, don't reveal the title right before, because you know the talk's going to be about the title.
Exactly. You know it's bad when they talk about that because they knew it was going to be bad. If you know it's bad, why even debut that title?
But why debut it? Because you know it's going to be the talk of the match.
Yeah.
Other than the match, because people are going to be like, look at that title, because we just debuted the thing.
Yeah, it was garbage. I understand where the fans were coming from here, and I'm really, really pissed off that McFoley came out and said that. He should really think before he writes something on social media, because that's a blow, man. You cannot say that about the fans like that.
Especially after looking at what SmackDown did with their titles, they definitely could have done better.
Which we'll get into now, SmackDown.
Raw,
again, like I said before,
the only good part of Raw was Bayley's debut.
Literally, the only good part of Raw. But SmackDown this week, over the top better than Raw, which we're going to talk about now. So we opened SmackDown with AJ Styles, Ziggler, Rhino, Corbin, Apollo Crews, Eric Rowan backstage segment.
Yeah, I found something funny here. Somebody like took a screenshot or like paused it and took a shot. And it was like Baron Corbin and Eric Rowan were talking, and it was like, what could these two possibly be talking about? Like, what are Rowan and Baron Corbin talking about?
Who's going to get more TV time this week? Because literally, we have only been seeing Corbin hitting Kalisto from behind stuff for like 5 seconds, and then we don't see Corbin at all.
But like, what do those two have in common? Like, what could they possibly be talking about?
Oh my god! And we follow into the Shane McMahon, Daniel Bryan in-ring segment where they have everyone in the ring and they're
They had
debuting
Yep.
the new titles.
They had the tag teams and the women out there, not any of the other superstars.
Boy, do those titles look good, and we get the simple, generic simplicity of the title names: SmackDown Women's Championship, SmackDown Tag Team Championship. Well done. Well said, and this is not sarcastic. That's all you had to do. You did not need to make a major title, put the word universe or universal in it. Literally just put the brand's name in front of it. That's all you had to do. And yeah, there's still people criticizing they look exact. They're literally replicas of the other titles, but
I think
different
they
colors.
both look better than the other
They
two.
look better. I like the tag team titles like the silver plates with the blue belt.
You know what? I like the shade of blue they used. It was like a dark blue. It was really nice. It wasn't
great.
like that bright red like.
And you know what's funny? We say that I never liked and never was one person to buy championship title belts. I might buy one of the tag team title belts,
like
toy one, not commemorative, toy.
But like, I like the nice dark shade of blue with the silver in it.
Exactly,
and it looks nice. Like it looks good.
Mm-hmm.
If Raw would have used like a darker shade of red, maybe like that blue, it might have been better.
I think so too. And then we also get the women's title,
which is the same white
belt but blue background. It looks
with
blue.
Really
it
good.
looks so good.
That's what we thought they were going to do with the Universal title. Just put the red in the background.
Yep.
And that would have been fantastic.
And I think they'll change it. They'll put the black belt with the red in the background. I think eventually people will have enough hate for it, and we'll get that. But yeah,
I love both titles.
The new titles, and they announced a tag team title tournament for the tag team championships, and then at Backlash as well, there will be a women's championship scramble match, the first ever women's championship scramble. So
Six-pack challenge.
Wow. Yep. Already, like, SmackDown over the top, and there's only been the opening segment.
And they only get 3 weeks to build their pay-per-view.
Yep.
As
and
opposed
they're
to
already
Raw gets
over the
4.
top.
Raw gets 4 weeks, SmackDown only gets 3.
Wow.
Of course. Just trying to fuck over SmackDown again.
But the championship scramble, I'm looking 100% forward to. So
yeah. Then we had they're talking about the tag teams.
Oh my god!
All of a sudden, Heath Slater comes through the barricade, and he comes in the ring.
It's actually a good reaction.
Oh yeah, Heath Slater's getting over with this like free agent gimmick right now. He's pretty hot with this right now, and he comes out because the crowd was chanting, "We want Slater" throughout the whole.
He came like this close the last couple weeks to getting a contract,
and he comes out and he says, "I want some of this championship gold as the hottest free agent." And Daniel Bryan's like, "You're not exactly equipped for the women's title," and he's like, "I'm not a woman," and the crowd's starting, "He's a woman." It was fantastic. And then, so he's like, "I want these tag team titles, brother." And then Shane's like, "You're not exactly equipped for that. You don't have a tag team partner." And he's like, "Listen, anybody in the back would love to be my tag team partner. I guarantee you I can find a tag team partner." And so they basically come up with the stipulation that Heath Slater can be in the tournament if he finds a partner. And the only way he gets a contract is if him and his partner win the entire tournament.
Oh my god. If things were bad enough for Heath Slater, he's got to find someone good enough to carry his team and continue into this tournament, which we find out is Rhino. And when you told me you'll find out, I'm like, okay, who is it going to be? And I found out, I'm like, are you serious? Rhino? At least he's being used, though. I'm like, okay, I thought Rhino was going to like be disappeared for a while, but Rhino's actually being used now more than
because
often.
Heath Slater was trying to find a partner all night, and no one wanted to be his partner. And then he's just like sitting there like about to cry, and this Rhino like taps him on the shoulder, and he's like, "Listen, I know how expensive it is to do an out of ground pool," because Heath Slater was talking about a pool before. Yeah. He's like, "I'll be your partner," and he's like, "Yes, let's go do it." And it was like,
"There's gonna be a team name for these guys." I can't think of one. Heath and the Gore.
If you guys can think of a good team
there
name,
you go.
For,
there's the question for the week, guys. If you think of a good tag team name for Heath Slater and Rhino, I don't know. Maybe I'll send you some stuff.
Who's the team that they're gonna add into the tournament for them to face? Like that's what I want to know. Like, what other team are they gonna add to this tournament?
Oh my god!
Is it just gonna be like a jobber team? Like, I didn't see the Vaudevillains out there, actually.
No, but the Vaudevillains are in it.
Okay.
I know that. So it's American Alpha, Vaudevillains, Hype Bros,
Usos, Ascension, and
Brazongo, and now...
Yeah, so they have to find...
They have to add one more team. Maybe the Revival finally gets called up.
Or maybe Luke Harper comes back and it's Eric Rowan and Luke Harper.
Oh, fucking fantastic.
But anyways, in that segment, AJ Styles comes out and he's like, "Why are we talking about the women and the tag teams? We should be talking about me being the world champion." And as he's walking down the stage, Heath Slater's walking up and he's like, "You want to be my partner?" He's like, "No, I won't be your partner. Get out of here." Just like AJ Styles' reaction, because he's like all serious and he's like, "I want a shot at the world title." "No, I won't be your tag team partner." It was gold.
Oh man, already look at that. Right in the opening segment, SmackDown just beat Raw and out of the water.
After that, AJ Styles gets attacked by Ziggler as he's coming down the stage. So this sets up a match between them two for the number one contendership, which ended up being the main event. So like right off the bat of SmackDown, it was just like huge build for like
that's
3
literally
different
the greatest opening to SmackDown that I've seen since I don't even remember when. Like, SmackDown in the past has been shitty as hell. And you guys know my opinions on SmackDown before this whole brand split.
The fake crowd noise.
Yeah. I could rant on that all day. There's been a couple previous episodes of the Sunday Night Heat. Some segment that hasn't made a return in a long time that we haven't seen in a while. But, yeah. What an opening. I can't believe Heath Slater, though.
He's
poor
comedy
guy,
gold
man.
right now.
So that set up Ziggler versus Styles in the main event, which was
We'll talk about that later.
We'll talk about that later. So let's move on here. And SmackDown, trying to get this page to load. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. My phone's being a little fritzy right now. Okay. So we got into the first match of SmackDown. Becky Lynch versus your girl, Alexa Bliss.
It was a pretty good match, but of course...
But you're kind of blissed off about it.
Oh, I was very blissed off about the ending of it. Thank you.
Yeah,
of course, Becky, being the top face, has to get the revenge on Alexa for winning from 2 weeks ago.
She disarmed her.
Yeah, and they had and they had Natalya and Naomi on commentary during this match.
Oh my god.
And Natalya with her typical crappy commentary.
Natalya, just stay off commentary for good, please.
I don't want to hear about your fucking cat, okay?
Your stupid 2 paws on... just shut up. No one cares. Ronaldo's on commentary. We want to hear him and him alone. That's it. And the kind of chimes about JBL love it, Ronaldo.
But it was an okay match. Becky won, so whatever.
Becky wins via submission to disarmer. I mean, whatever. It didn't really mean anything. It was just a match. There's no. Both of them are going to be in a scramble match come Backlash. So. Whatever.
And they showed a promo beforehand of Alexa being on the cover of Muscle and Fitness Hers.
Which you bought right away. A day early, I might add.
Yep, it's in a frame. Walmart,
all
ready to go.
Out of all places.
Yeah, shoutouts to Walmart. Next.
Second match, we have the first round match in the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Championship tournament, the Ascension versus the Usos.
See, if you're gonna when WWE does tournaments, they're so fucking predictable about who's gonna win matches. They really need to have an upset or something else happen. Yeah. That's why the Ascension.
This is where the Ascension should have won. If they were gonna have an upset, this is where the Ascension should have won. And I thought they're turning the Usos heel.
The Usos need to go heel. No one wants to cheer for them anymore.
No, they be literally, because of Roman Reigns and the whole thing he did with Roman, they become hated a lot.
And I respect what the Usos have done. They carried the tag team division for a couple of years, but now they got to start letting some other teams get up, man. I'm tired of seeing. And I'm
pissed because the Ascension didn't win, because I love the Ascension. I love the Ascension when they were in NXT because they were so dominant.
They were the most dominant NXT.
I'm like,
when
these guys get called up, it's over. They're going to be tag team champions forever.
Was over.
They've never won the tag team title since then, and it become the jobbing team.
I don't think they've won a match.
One got suspended for 30 days, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
I don't remember when the last time the Ascension won a match on the main roster.
I don't either. So yeah, Usos won. Great. Predictable.
So yeah, Usos won. Sure, why not? Bye-bye. We'll move on to the AJ Styles Dolph Ziggler in-ring promo. Oh, okay. I mean, I kind of saw this. I saw a little bit of highlight of it, but I don't know. Styles and Ziggler. Ziggler, I mean, and I thought they were after their main title picture at SummerSlam that they were gonna slowly drift him out of the picture, which they kind of did tonight or that night on SmackDown. But I didn't think he was going to be already put in the main event. I thought it'd be Styles and someone else, maybe John Cena. But then we end up finding out that John Cena is going away for a couple months. Yep. So thanks, John Cena. You always say you're always here for the fans and stuff, and now you're gone. But Styles comes out. He says he sees a lot of angry faces in the crowd. He sees a lot of jealous faces in the locker room, like Dolph Ziggler.
Oh yeah, he's also wearing a John Cena never give up wristband.
The wristband that was left in the ring. That's right.
Or armband. Yeah.
The reason being he defeated John Cena at SummerSlam. Styles then says he says the never give up wristband looks better on him anyway.
And he's the face that runs the place now.
Yep, Styles fulfilled his promise and beat John Cena. He says the Cena Nation should become AJ Styles fans. What do you call that? The Style Nation?
I don't know.
Style fans. He's the man who runs the place now, and he deserves to be the number one contender for the World Championship. Ziggler comes out of the gorilla position, and he's held back by Jamie Noble.
And Billy Kidman.
Billy Kidman's out there, too.
Yep.
God, I thought the guy was dead.
Nope. He's a backstage dude.
Dana Bryan says enough is enough. He agrees that Styles deserves an opportunity at the championship. Then at the same time, Ziggler was close to becoming the new champion. It seems that Ziggler and Styles want to fight. Bryan then announces that tonight's main event will be Styles and Ziggler. If Styles wins, he'll face Dean Ambrose for the World Championship. If Ziggler wins, the World Championship match will be turned into a triple threat match.
So Ziggler gets screwed either way. It won't be a one-on-one match even if he wins.
So I'm after that, I'm like, are you kidding me? So I'm like, okay, they're definitely going to have... After that point, I'm like, okay, it's too predictable now. There's no way they do... Well, in my back mind, I kind of went like, okay, they could do a triple threat, but I'm like, no. If they're going to push Ziggler out of the title picture, he ain't winning this main event tonight.
Even if he would have won, they wouldn't have even been a one-on-one match.
They always screw Ziggler. We get into the third match, which is like one of the highlights of SmackDown. We have Carmella versus Nikki Bella.
And Nikki Bella's trying to cut a promo before the match, in the ring.
The match didn't even start or happen, guys, because of this. There's the interview in the ring by Renee Young. Then she's laid out from behind by Carmella. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Yes. So we say a heel turn. Is this considered a heel turn? Because Nikki Bella was heel, but then we find out that this has been a double turn.
Gotta love those double turns. I think the last one we had was Del Rio and Ziggler.
So I love it. I'm wondering, though. I'm wondering. Does Carmella keep the same theme song? next week.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah?
Because the crowd isn't really, like, going with it. Like,
Yeah,
she hasn't
no.
really been getting over with the SmackDown crowd as, like, a face.
Yeah, not as much over as she was with NXT, so maybe with the heel attack, she's getting a reaction to it, but I'm loving it. I love my girl Carmella planting Nikki. Fuck Nikki, get the hell out of here.
It makes sense for Nikki to get a face reaction.
I'm going to be so biased with this. Like, Carmella's winning the world champ, the next woman. She's the next women's champion, 100%. It's going to be Carmella.
No, it's
It's going to come down to Carmella and Nikki in that match.
No, it's
and
not.
she's going to win. Fuck Nikki. I can't stand her.
And then we'll jump forward to on Talking Smack. Nikki Bella was on there again talking to
And then
Renee
she
on
got
the Daniel Bryan.
attacked.
And Carmella attacked her again. I was
on
watching
Talking
this
Smack,
live.
so something that wasn't even on live TV. It was on the WWE Network. She got smacked. Basically, no pun intended. She got smacked.
She kicked the shit out of her on the Talking Smack panel. It was fantastic. I'm loving this new Carmella ruthless aggression shit.
Yeah, I love it.
I like it.
Love this. I love my girl Carmella kicking the shit out of Nikki Bella. That's even better. So we'll move on. So we had to move on to the Heath Slater and Miz backstage segment. Slater offers Miz a chance to be his partner. The next step for him to achieve greatness. Heath likes the idea of them being a team, and we see that Miz was talking to Steven Spielberg about the next Indiana Jones. Then we get the promo of Kurt Hawkins.
It was like a vignette.
It was like a fax thing. Kurt Hawkins once broke a promise in half.
So is this like the new Matt Hardy?
I think this is
version
literally
two
it's the
crap?
jab at broken Matt Hardy because Matt Hardy's been tweeting a lot about WWE lately. So I think this is Kurt Hawkins going to be turned into like the Matt Hardy version 1 type guy. And it also says, Death once had a near Kurt Hawkins experience. And then the third fact, Winter is worried that Kurt Hawkins is coming. I can't wait for Kurt Hawkins to come out.
I'm just shaking my head at this.
I hope he plays the Matt Hardy character. That's going to be freaking fantastic and a good jab at TNA.
Why didn't he just be Heath Slater's partner?
I don't know, but I love how this is a jab. If this is a jab at TNA, I'm all for it. I hope I see this every goddamn week on SmackDown.
Imagine you said delete or something.
Oh my god. He once deleted delete.
He once deleted something.
Yeah. We get into the Randy Orton and Bray Wyatt in-ring promo next, which was really good. Bray Wyatt is over the top, one of the best talkers on the mic ever. So nobody expected Orton to be here, actually, but here he is.
And with 10 staples in his head.
Yep. Orton would have rather been carried out unconscious, he says, than what happened. Shane thought by intervening, he did the right thing, but the paths were crossed again. But Bray Wyatt interrupts out of anybody. Bray asked Orton how his head is. I kind of laughed a little bit. He says he saw what Brock did to him and saw the look in your eyes change. It went blank. So basically talking about like how he was knocked out in the ground.
We ended up finding out that was a work.
There's nothing like laying there in your head with your head busted open to remember that you're just a man. You are a great man, but just a man. A man who hurts, a man who suffers, a man who dies. Bray is not just a man, he is God. A God can never die. You will find all about it in time. The lights go off and back on, and Bray is no longer there, and there's a rocking chair just rocking at ringside.
Classic Bray Wyatt promo, you know.
Unreal, man. Like, I love Bray Wyatt, and that promo was just over the top. And now it looks like they're setting up Randy Orton versus Bray Wyatt.
And yet, Bray Wyatt wasn't even on the fucking SummerSlam card, and Eva Marie was scheduled in the match. That's what makes me shake my head at WWE.
Yeah, but if they're going along with this and they're going to have a backlash match, please continue from this promo on. Keep it at this pace. I will love this feud.
I want to see what
excited
Orton's
for that
say
match.
back.
Next
What
week.
he's going to respond to that next week.
Interesting. So you can't have Brock Lesnar intervene anymore. But Shane McMahon has a backstage interview. He says with Charlie Caruso asks Shane if Stephanie will take his matter with Brock Lesnar seriously. Shane doubts she'll take it seriously. Shane heard that Stephanie fined Brock $500, and does Shane think that's fair? Shane says that this thing with him and Brock Lesnar is far from over.
Yeah.
There's a big hint there.
Yeah, because the interviewer kept asking him, and he's like, "Fine, you want a soundbite?
Yeah.
It's not over yet." And he's like, "Excuse me."
We're getting a Shane Brock match. You heard it here first. That's going to be the Shane
when
Brock
is it going to be at WrestleMania or fuck?
You'll know when it is.
When it is.
So move on. The fourth match of the inaugural Tag Team Championship, American Alpha versus Breezango.
See, like, what I'm talking about, like, I would have, you know what, as much as you don't like it, I would have liked to seen Breezango win this match.
Yeah. You know what? There's a lot of people, I saw a lot of chatter on Twitter about everyone saying push Breeze and how good he is and how Breezango has become better as a tag team.
But if they would have beaten American Alpha, that would have made them a legitimate tag team.
I would have been pissed, though.
I know,
I want these guys to continue this tournament.
American Alpha is going to be the future of the division. Like, they needed some, like, they could have legitimized Breezango right off the bat if they could have picked up a win against
Now, what if they beat the
American
Usos?
Alpha.
Would that legitimize them?
A little bit, probably. I would have even see that.
I think that's what should have happened. I think the Ascension should have went and faced the American Alpha, and, you know, because they always job all the time. American Alpha beat them, and then have Breezango pick up the upset victory over the Usos.
That's what I'm saying. Like, have, like, some kind of, like, upset factor in this. Like, it was so predictable who's going to win both these matches.
That was one thing that SmackDown lacked this week from a perfect 10. I am wearing the shirt. This week was that. I agree with you with that, and it would have made sense, but then you have this match with American Alpha, which actually was pretty good. Both these teams are unreal, but the Breezango looks better every week they wrestle.
They're getting better, man, I'm telling you.
I don't think they're out of it yet. We'll see after the tournament what happens with those two, but again, you have freaking Fandango or Johnny Curtis, whatever, and Tyler Breeze. They're actually really good wrestlers, both of them. Yeah, their gimmick takes away a lot from them, but they're actually really unreal wrestlers. So
if you can get into the gimmick, you know, past the flamboyant stuff, they're good wrestlers.
Yeah, exactly. So after that, we had like the Heath Slater and Rhino backstage segment where we talked about earlier. Yep. We also had a Dean Ambrose backstage.
Oh my God,
interview.
This was hilarious. Because they're at the Mohegan Sun Casino, right? So then the interviewer, and he's wearing like this giant, like big blue cowboy hat thing, and he's got like some dice in his hand, and he's like, "Oh, I just got back from the casino. What's going on?" And then she's like, "So we got a number one contender match for your title." He's like, "Oh, really?" And he's like he has no idea like who's even in the match. And then they're like, "Oh, it's AJ Styles versus Dean Ambrose. Versus Dolph Ziggler." And he's like, "Oh, okay, makes sense." And he's like, "Okay, I'll be out there in commentary."
Yeah, he needs a drink to get alert. I'm like, should they have said that? Isn't that against wellness?
But like Ambrose's character, like it's just like it's not a heel, it's not a face. He's just like
the best tweener
doesn't give a
I've
shit
ever seen.
And he comes out on commentary for the Ziggler and Ambrose match.
Yeah.
I keep saying Ambrose. Styles
Ziggler match.
Yes. And Ambrose actually did a pretty good job on commentary. Like, just like the way he was just talking, he was just being himself, you know?
Yeah.
Like, he was talking somewhat about the match. But
that's why he's perfect. That's why when the brand split happened and Ambrose on as the main guy on SmackDown, I'm like, this is so perfect, because now he can be treated as a top performer, and the way his character is, he can actually benefit from being on SmackDown and have no one overpowering him on Raw, or if they were still on Raw. So I love how the Dean Ambrose character can benefit from being on SmackDown. This is just perfect.
And when they give him freedom with the mic, he just kind of like just goes along with it.
Yeah.
Like
when he's scripted, you know when he's scripted, and it's terrible.
He doesn't care. Like, he just like on comment, he just doesn't care about anyone. He's just like, you know, out there just doing his own thing, talking about random ass stuff. But he does know what he does talk about the match sometimes, which is good.
And speaking of the match,
oh my God,
wow, this goes into the match of the year candidate, folks. I kid you not. I only watched the highlights for this match. I didn't watch full match. I'm going to have to go back and watch full match. But just from the highlights, you know it's a good match when I sit and I base match of the year off the highlights. This match was unreal.
And to add to that, more Ronaldo's commentary was legendary in this
Even
match.
that guy should get commentator of the century, like up there with Jim Ross. Unbelievable. Just, I cannot believe what I see from this match. And you've seen the whole match. Unbelievable, these two guys, and what a main event it was.
It was just spot after spot after spot. It was just back and forth. Like, at some points you thought Ziggler might have won,
and then some points Styles would have won, and we ended up actually getting a winner. AJ Styles will face Dean Ambrose at Backlash for the championship.
AJ Styles, man, he's had two unbelievable matches in like 3 days.
Torn again. I was torn with Balor and Rollins. Now I'm torn again with Ambrose and Styles. Either one could win at Backlash.
No offense to Ambrose, but Styles is carrying the SmackDown division right now.
100%.
Like, he's gonna be the Roman Reigns, the guy on SmackDown.
Oh, you said it.
He's gonna be the phenomenal guy.
You said
he's the phenomenal guy on SmackDown. But he's not. He's way better than Roman Reigns. Okay, let's get that straight.
Yeah.
AJ Styles is going to be the face of SmackDown. He's going to carry that brand until Cena comes back.
I'm so torn with that. It's gonna. I can't tell who's gonna win. I love that. I love when there's matches like this. So Ambrose and Styles at Backlash.
And I think it's going to be more than a one pay-per-view series. I think it might go 2 or 3.
That'll be good.
And I think they're going to put on a great match.
Yep,
AJ Styles
until Cena comes back.
He won with the Styles
Cena
Clash.
says, "Okay, I deserve instant title match when I come back."
Great. Super Cena comes back.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't have a lot of respect for you Cena fans out there. How can you cheer for a guy that gets instant shots when he comes back after leaving?
Buries everyone.
Yeah. He's doing out of promote work, like promoting work outside the company, but still, like he's not allowed to come back and get instant title shot off that.
I'm just glad he finally put over AJ Styles on Sunday.
Yeah,
that was, and like I said, AJ Styles had 2 5-star matches in 3 days.
So again, guys, like we said before, brand wars this week. SmackDown won. I'm giving SmackDown a 4.0 out of 5 this week, and I'm giving Raw a 2.5, just like last week.
Yeah, I'll give it about the same. Raw's just like the 2 hours is perfect. The
2.5 made up was Bayley and the New Day. That was it.
The 2 hours for SmackDown is perfect because you get the shit that Raw fills with that extra hour out of the way, and it's just good wrestling. They get to the point real quick, and it's just a better show. It's better on the eyes.
Yep.
It's better for my attention span to sit there for 2 hours rather than 3.
And we said this before the brand said that. We're like, man, we're going to be watching SmackDown more than Raw, and it's almost turning that way. If this continues, I'm literally going to be watching the highlights for Raw and watching SmackDown entirely.
Because the extra hour filler is just garbage with the Braun Strowman stuff.
It seems too long. It seems way too long.
It's just... I don't know. I'm hoping when the cruiserweights come up, it'll somewhat help it out.
Maybe that will happen. And we're getting that September 14th is the official debut of the cruiserweights. Expected names are Ibushi, the real Brian Kendrick, and a lot of other names who I'm not really familiar with that are actually pretty good. Zack Sabre Jr., I guess, is doing some other stuff around the world first before he makes his debut. But I'm intrigued, and if they sign Ricochet like they said they've been wanting to sign, he's going to be great add to that division as well.
Sick.
So it's going to be great. I can't wait for I hope the Cruiserweight division does amp up Raw in the future when it does come into that one of the 3-hour time slots. So
maybe they need the hottest free agent, baby.
Oh yeah. So brand wars this week, guys. SmackDown won that. So getting to the last part of our show, our WWE News or WWE Headlines. Hit that news music. All right, welcome to WWE Headlines. I love that intro music. I say it every week. It's so good. So welcome to WWE Headlines, guys, where we talk about any important news in the WWE and discuss about it. We have three titles today. One
topics.
We're going to talk about is Bret Hart's criticism on Seth Rollins.
You read this to me off air before the podcast. This is pretty intense.
So I'm going to read it to you guys right now on the podcast. So this is what Bret Hart says. I have no great pleasure in saying I told you so, but if you're a professional wrestler and you keep hurting opponents or yourself, clearly you're doing it wrong. I wrestled very realistic and physical style. Not once in 20 years did I ever hurt someone. Seth Rollins needs to improve his technique and become the safer wrestler in the business. I have great respect for Seth. I believe he'll improve and hopefully stop hurting talent before someone gets killed. Wrestlers have to trust one another. If a wrestler holds the life of another wrestler in his hands for the sake of his family, wife, or children, you plain and simply cannot drop it. He also goes on and says, I saw this coming. If anything, WWE producers are negligent. Sorry, I'm a little illiterate right now. Negligent for not speaking up about him already. Instead, they're probably gushing with joy, slapping him on the back and telling him, great job. Bill Goldberg was similar. When I think of Samoa Joe nearly killing Tyson Kidd, then seeing him continuing to use his deadly finishing move, I just shake my head. It's not real. It's not supposed to be real. Wrestlers are not crash test dummies. Wow.
That is strong.
That is unbelievable by Bret Hart. And you know what? He's right.
I mean, as much as we love Seth Rollins, he's the best heel in the company, and he's one of the best wrestlers in the company.
You have to protect wrestlers. What we saw this weekend scared the shit out of us. Same with Charlotte and Sasha Banks. It's just, people need to start relaxing and slowing. If you have to slow the pace down, slow it down. You need to look out for each other and stop doing shit. And everybody needs to step in and stop continuing shit that's hurting people. Because that's 2 people now that Seth Rollins is hurt with that move. And if he continues to use it, it's just going to get worse. And possibly, you never know. That could be the neck next time.
Yep.
And we're gonna
watch somebody get.
Are they
going
to risk someone dying on live TV, just like they have in the past with the Blue Blazer and Owen Hart?
But it's just like, and their top stars going down, and then they have to change the whole plans for everything.
Yeah.
Like Finn Balor winning the title, he was going to be in a lot of big storylines.
So they stop with the curve stomp. Now you got to stop with this. And if that's the case with Samoa Joe, and that's the reason why Tyson Kidd got hurt and he's not back yet, then he needs to stop using that move as well. As much as that move looks unreal, Samoa Joe's got to start using another move and start maybe, I don't know, use that submission move he uses all the time. He used to use in TNA. Why not go with that? The Koji Clutch. Have that be his only finisher. Who cares if it's a submission finisher? That's great. Why not? They have to stop with this. They need to step in, and moves that are dangerous and if wrestlers don't feel comfortable with doing, as much as it's for the entertainment and for the fans viewing, it needs to stop.
They need to take it easy too. Like Sasha, like I love her, man, obviously, but like some of the moves that she does, like it is scary. Like I'm legitimately scared for some of the moves that she does, like suicide dives or just the shit. Like she's gonna like legitimately hurt herself, and she's got to slow down with that stuff. I know she wants to be the best and be like the Eddie Guerrero type wrestler, but you gotta, know what you're doing. And with Charlotte, like you can't just fucking drop someone on the side. I don't want to rant about that again, but you can't just drop somebody like that on their neck.
And if producers are negligent about this and not speaking, they need to speak up, because it's really getting bad. And I'm scared for my favorite wrestlers, and I'm scared for even other wrestlers who like do wrestle to provide for their families and provide for themselves to have a good life. They need to start protecting them more, or it's going to get out of hand.
You literally lost 2 champions in the same week. You lost your women's champion and your universal champion.
Yep. So they need to start stepping up with that, honestly. Bret Hart, with that criticism, I agree 100% with him. And, Bret Hart's in the past he's had a lot to say in his mind.
Yeah, he's very opinionated, but I agree with him here. I mean, but Seth Rollins is a great talent. Get enough away from him.
Yep, that's for sure.
But
So we'll move into some other bit of news. The Rock and Vin Diesel. If you guys don't know about these two, there was some heat, I guess, on set in the past couple of weeks. People saying that they fought on set, but it's all come out of the smoke has been cleared. Apparently, it was a publicity stunt. And
why do we care about this?
It's to promote Fast 8, I think it is. But apparently it's also for setting up a wrestling match between Vin Diesel and The Rock.
Do I want to see Vin Diesel in a match? No.
I only like this if The Rock's training Vin Diesel. If The Rock's training him to take some spots and to actually pull off some wrestling moves, then whatever. As long as it's like 5 minutes long at WrestleMania, it doesn't take, or if it's at WrestleMania, it doesn't take up a lot of time, then whatever. Do what you gotta do.
We're gonna do a celebrity match at WrestleMania. Just do a Big Show versus Shaquille O'Neal, please.
We want to see that.
I just want to see Shaq come out with his panda theme. Okay, that's all I want. I don't even care about the match.
As long he makes his entrance. The match is starting. You're gonna go get some drinks or something.
That'll be the piss break of WrestleMania. Like I'd rather see that than Vin Diesel get his candy ass kicked by the Rock.
It is also announced with that Rock has now become the officially highest paid actor in the world.
Good for him, man.
I guess he do whatever he wants. But just to clarify that if anyone did care about that,
I definitely did not.
Third bit of news: the original title plan, the original plans for the Universal title. Finally come out. And this is very interesting because it involves one of my favorite wrestlers. So apparently going into Clash of Champions, it was supposed to be Finn Balor versus Kevin Owens, baby.
Wow.
For the Universal Championship.
Setting up that old feud from NXT.
Yep. And this was supposed to lead in to a Hell in a Cell triple threat with Owens, Balor, and the It Man himself.
The stupid
Jericho. Wow.
That would have been unreal.
So with that in mind, I'm saying it. I'm calling it right now for next week. Owens is winning Universal Championship next week. 100%.
We didn't go over our predictions for that yet.
Yep. I'm thinking Owens next week. 100%.
Like, I want to say it's going to be Rollins, but I think they might go unpredictable and pick someone else.
Kevin Owens. It's not going to be Big Cass.
There's no way Big Cass.
It's not going to be Roman Reigns. I guarantee you. I think Rusev screws Roman Reigns out, and that's probably going to set up their rematch at Clash of Champions for the U.S. title.
Rusev gets involved and kicks the shit out of Reigns during the match.
I think that's going to happen.
But I think it'll
Kevin Owens, man. It's going to be Kevin Owens. I cannot wait. Man, I'm going to be so happy.
I don't know though. I'm still picking Rollins, but I could see Kevin Owens winning. If that was the original plan, it makes sense.
Yeah. So if they continue with that, I might be happy. I'm really happy. But guys, that has been the Lowdown Show for this week. Brand Wars. It's been an interesting week. We got Smackdown that won. A bit of news there. Some good Luke Gallows pulls. It's been a good week this week. Week number 20 we are in,
some
actually.
Good matches announced for Backlash.
Yes. So Backlash looks interesting. Clash of Champions looks interesting. It's going to be interesting to see the next couple of months with the women's division, main titles, the new titles on SmackDown. What a week it's been for WWE this week.
The Corporate Kane title on Raw.
But guys, as always, the Lowdown Show is broadcasted live on Spreaker at Spreaker.com every week at Spreaker.com/NHBWP. And after it's done, it's posted on Spreaker itself, YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes in full. We are everywhere for your enjoyment and forever how you want to listen to us. If you would like to join in on the conversation, have your thoughts, questions, opinions, and anything read on the podcast at the beginning of the show, tweet us and follow us on Twitter at noholdsbarredwp, or by leaving a comment on YouTube in the comment section below. Guys, I am your host as always, the self-proclaimed greatest host, Kyle Masters, and every week I'm continuing to be joined by my glorious co-host, the boss, Mr. Corporate himself, Corporate Cappy.
Just don't bliss me off.
Don't bliss him off, ladies and gentlemen. We're always here to remind you to keep it on the lowdown.
Here we go. You're looking at the real deal now. Gonna kick your sorry ass out on the street. Is that what you got? Used to think you own the street. We're back to